Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's lesson. Let's go ahead and read our lesson objective. So, our lesson objective for today we will multiply decimals using models. Okay, let's go ahead and go into our vocabulary. So, our first vocabulary word is decimal. So, a decimal is a number that represents an equal part of a whole in units of 10. So, it's very similar to fractions, right? It needs to be equal parts, but our decimals need to be cut into units of 10. So, tenths, hundredths, thousands, etc. All right, let's go ahead and go into our next problem. So our next problem is, our next vocabulary word is multiplication. So multiplication is the process of combining equal groups, right? So we're putting our equal groups together. All right, and last but not least, product. So product is the number resulting from the multiplication of two or more numbers. So it is the answer to our multiplication problem. All right, fantastic. Let's get into our first problem. I'm actually going to go ahead and close out the camera for this one. So, what we're going to do for this problem is we need to find the product of 3 times 3/10, right? So what this is telling us is that we need 3 groups of 3/10. Over here, I went ahead and took our whole and I cut it into 10 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why? Why I do that? Because we have 3/10. And 3/10 is equal to writing the fraction 3/10, right? So what we are doing is we are actually going to go ahead and multiply 3 times 3/10. All right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and shade in 3/10. So here is one group of 3/10, right? And I'm going to change colors for this. And I need 3 of these groups. So there's one group of 3/10. Here's 2 groups of 3/10. And here is 3 groups of 3/10. So now all of our shaded pieces together is going to equal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tenths. Sorry about that, guys. My dogs were barking at something. I'm not sure what. Okay, so all of our shaded pieces together is going to equal 9/10. So I'm going to go and put that right here. Now, because our problem was in a decimal, we want to write this down in a decimal. So the other way of writing 9/10 is by doing 0.9. So that is 9/10 is our answer. All right, let's go ahead and go into our next problem. So now the next problem that we have is we are going to go ahead and multiply 3/10 times 7/10. So what this is telling us, like we did in fractions, is we actually want to multiply 3/10, if we were to rewrite this as a fraction, times 7/10, right? So we want 3/10 of the group of 7/10. So first, let's go ahead and shade in 7/10. We have our grid right here, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and there's 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, right? So we have 7/10. Now, for each of our tenths, we want 3/10 of that. So I'm going to go ahead and divide up all of this into tenths. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we kind of want that to be kind of equal. Now I want to go ahead and take 3/10 of each of my new pieces, right? So I'm going to go ahead and, sorry, my dogs are acting up right now. So we're going to go ahead and take 3/10 of our group. So right here I have 1/10 of that group, 2/10 of this group, and 3/10 of that group. So our common area is this part right here. And how many of those pieces do I have? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So all of the pieces that I have are now, I have 21. But because I split up my 10 pieces into 10 more pieces, I now have 100 pieces. So now I have 21 hundredths. This is how we write it as a fraction. If we were to write this as a decimal or rewrite it as a decimal, it would be 0.21 because it is 21 hundredths. Okay, all right, fantastic. Let's go over our lesson objective. So, our lesson objective for today was today we multiplied decimals using models. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. Oh my gosh, before I forget, I was going to show you guys one thing. No, we'll do it later. Okay, hope this is helpful. I'll see you next time. Bye.